And now, the band. The band that thrilled audiences from coast to coast. The band that performed and regarded with such strength as the Righteous Brothers, the Buffalo Springfield, B.B. King, Otis Redding, and many more. The band that you've been waiting to hear, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the fabulous Boogie King.
I'm Bert Miller. I was born in 1941 and started with the Boogie Kings in 56. 15 years old, walking back from school one day, and I heard some music going on in the house, and I walked up and I knocked on the door, and there was Doug Ardwine, the founder of the Boogie Kings. That was his house. He and his friend Harris Miller were jamming with guitars in the bedroom, and his mother, Ms. Ardwine, walked up and opened the door, and she said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I hear some music. I was just wondering who's playing." She said, "Well, come in." So I walked in and went and met them, and they were jamming, and long story short, they asked me if I played anything. I said, "Yeah, I messed around with drums a little bit at high school. We had a drum and bugle corps at that time." They said, "Well, you want to play with us? We're going to start a band." I said, "Hell yeah." So I ended up starting drums and two guitars. That's how we started out. And didn't know I could sing at the time, but they said, "Can you do any singing?" I said, "I like Fats Domino." Okay, well, let's do Blueberry Hill. I learned that, and one thing led to another, and 15 years old, we were playing some gigs. I couldn't even get in a nightclub at that age. They had to sneak me in the back door.
I'm from Palmetto, Louisiana. I was hearing about the Boogie Kings for a couple of years before I started with them. Bert started in 56 and I started in 58. I was playing with another group. In fact, I played with two groups before I played with the Boogie Kings. I started playing when I was 14, and actually Earl Taylor is the one who got me started playing music, playing gigs, but that's another story. I played from 58 to 69 with the group consistently through those years, which led me through a time when the group actually had a split because Doug was in an accident, in your car.
Yeah.
And Doug got a broken arm, and so he couldn't play for several months while his arm was healing, and that resulted in Harris taking over the group, and a group split, basically, at that time. And that was about 5 years into, somewhere 4 or 5 years after I had started.
My name is Mike Pollard. I was born in 1943. I was playing with another group, And I remember one time that Brian and Norris Battle played in a band at the USL.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make it that night. And so they had Willie Holman was a trumpet player. So Harris and whoever came to my house, might have been you, I don't know. And he said, because I used to go over and listen to y'all. I'd stand in front of the bandstand and I'd memorize all that stuff y'all was doing, you know? And I'd sit in with y'all a little bit. And they said, "Would you play with us?" I said, "Well, I'm your competition because we're playing across the road at Lee's, which is a better nightclub, because y'all had a controversy with Whitney Bordelon, the owner of the Pelican Club, over a raise. And so y'all was playing at the Cotton Club."
Okay.
And so I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. If y'all will hire me full time, I'll play for half pay," which was more than I was making with the other ones. Went through a lot. I played with the Boogie Kings from, well, I guess 61 through 65. When
Yeah,
that was
second
after
trip.
the band broke up, and I played with y'all the first time. Then we decided to come back, and I decided that I needed, since I had a wife and a newborn, six-week-old boy, I'd better go to work. So I went to work. I worked for a telephone company. I worked for Clico. And then I worked 35 years for an international paper as a lab tech. And I still play part-time, you know. And that's pretty much my story.
My name is Ted Broussard. I was born in 1952. And my first experience with the Boogie Kings was I had an aunt that bought a little nightclub that was located in Port Holmes. And she hired the Boogie Kings, and she told me about it. I might have been 14 or 15, and I was playing guitar then. I was in a band that had horns. It was kind of a Boogie King wannabe band. And I went and heard them, and there was nobody else in the place except me and family members. It might have been 4 or 5 of us. So my aunt had to fork out the money to pay them. Now back then, it probably wasn't a lot of money, but it was a big band. Y'all remember what y'all made per night?
That was about the going rate.
How much was it?
25 bucks.
20 bucks.
25.
And there were 11
15
vendors.
and 20. It depends on when. You know.
Yeah, I started
This
y'all
would have been probably the mid '60s.
By mid-60s, we were making good money by then.
Yeah. But I mean, Jerry LaCroix and Gigi Shin were in the band, and the horn players. I don't know what horn players. I couldn't tell you, but I'm sure John Smith was there.
No, John didn't come in until after I left.
Oh, okay. So it was likely
it
Norris,
was probably
maybe you
Batto,
Batto.
and maybe Mike. No,
Yeah.
were you still there in '65 or somewhere?
Yeah.
You remember playing a little hole in the wall in Port Holmes, Louisiana?
Where is
Played
it?
we played at so many places.
It's a wonderful legacy that Boogie King.
Well,
made.
it's so interesting to me that I feel like I played such a short amount of time, that 11 years in the beginning, and saw the transition from where we started and to where the group took off into the other direction, so to speak, and became a road band. And after that, there's another 50 years of Boogie Kings, you know.
Yeah.